In 2020, we created the Diversity, Equity and Inclusion Committee. It didn't exist before, and the reason why we created it is because we were seeing a necessity in Houston of this type of council, right? So we were seeing the corporations that they have their community engagement, community relations budget, that it was like how we can be better, how we can become better citizens, right? And then we created this council, and it's been a success from the beginning.
When we went to all the corporations, they were asking us how or where can we get minorities. So I think corporations, and after the pandemic, they are looking for those people that have different background, because they know that not only the fact that you have a multidisciplinary team will increase the creativity of your team.
We partner with companies that they have a sustainability development goal that is education. That's one thing. The other thing that we are seeing is that these companies, they have a real interest to improve the diversity, not only with Hispanic. I mean, we are seeing that they are interested to go with veterans, people of color, LGBTQ. So that's how we start these conversations with companies.
So corporations are looking to smaller organizations like us, like the Institute, for help and to partner with us so they can get minorities within the workforce. And the reason is because they understand now more than ever that having a diverse workforce will increase the value of their company.
How these corporations have been working with us is like how they can attract diverse talent, how they can accelerate or expedite the promotions to go from the bottom level in the company to the highest level. And that's how we've seen.
So we have several initiatives. We have veteran programs to try to target some of our veterans and some of them with disabilities. We also have women resource groups to target women, and then we have intern programs. In our intern programs, we have a diversity threshold that we try to attain, and bringing in, we have over 400 interns this year from many different backgrounds, many different cultures, and then our goal is to hire 25% of them permanently. So we've put some strong metrics in place that we want to attain, and that go towards our diversity and inclusion goals and initiatives.
I think in this past year we've seen the development of D&I and equity and inclusion in corporations advance more as a result of what our society is asking from us. Right? We see the younger generation wanting that inclusive culture. We see that this is now something that is a key differentiator when trying to attract talent and hire. And also it's a key differentiator in creating the workplace cultures that we want, where everyone feels that they belong.
I think it's developed quite well. I think there's a lot of programs out there now that people and companies are really putting into initiative, and I think it's progressed, I would say, at a minimum of like 50% more than we have seen in previous years.
The biggest shift I see is the impact to the business that diverse individuals and places like employee resource groups serve in. I think there was a heavy shift, and historically when the launch of employee resource groups and diversity and inclusion programs came about on cultural inclusion and celebrating culture and diversity from that perspective, which is amazing and wonderful and necessary.
Now that D&I is a little bit more of a topic of conversation, I'm hopeful that more of the people who are minorities can bring more people up. So you see opportunities, call those people. Hey, this is an opportunity, recommend them for opportunities. Really make it a point to bring us up with you. You're there now, so help us out.
I think the development of DE&I within the past year to this year has heavily increased within multiple industries and has become extremely important within multiple business strategies.
D&I is no longer seen as something that has to be done, that companies sort of do it and have to check a box. Now they know it's a competitive requirement, and if they want to have the best talent in the world come and work at their companies, that talent wants to see that your company is serious.
One of the points that we've been covering in the Diversity and Inclusion Summit is like, what is going to happen to companies that they don't embrace these diversity and inclusion programs? And what is going to happen is like, we don't see the continuity of this type of corporations. First of all, because customers are going to run away. Suppliers are not going to do business with them. And even investors, they are not going to put their funds there.
Besides doing the summit, we are conducting workshops. We are partnering with the Workforce Commission and the ETC, Employee Training Group, and they are doing some training in unconscious bias. So it's a way to help people to understand biases that they don't know they have. And in that way, you can help them to open to a more diverse workforce.
DEI is ever changing, because at first it was diversity and inclusion, then diversity, equity and inclusion, then diversity, equity, inclusion and belonging. And so as we continue to evolve what this space means and what that looks like for employees, I think we'll have to continue to educate the organizations and the leaders about how we show up every day and what it means for our practices.
Corporations are being asked to do more, to step up, to create those environments where everyone can succeed and everyone has a chance to succeed, to belong, to be seen and to be heard.
So D&I is important that we have the right people in those key places that can tell us, that can educate us about what it is to have this type of product and what type of product is more appropriate for us. And also for our customers to see that people identify with our employees that look like them. So they're very comfortable coming to them to ask for whatever product they're looking for.
So some of the evolving trends, I think, is going to be a lot more incentives for cultural trainings in companies. I think that CEOs and leaders are going to start really digging in to understand different cultures and different kinds of people that work in their companies. So I think those are the kinds of initiatives that are going to happen.
I think the involvement of DE&I in the future is going to be extremely important within regulations, and companies are going to have to become a lot more compliant within regulations and push forwards those business strategies.
If they want to attract the best talent in the world to work at their companies, they're going to have to show that they're serious about diversity and inclusion.
In the past, diversity, it was something that it was nice to have. But we are in a moment that is a must, it's mandatory and it's regulated. Diversity is key for a corporation to survive.